Pay-to-win skins are here. That's right, the console edition of Rust has pay-to-win skins. It's had them for a while, camouflage, but it's got some new ones, and we've got to talk about them because if you don't buy them soon, they're going to disappear from the store, and you might not have anything, because this is the first tier of pay-to-win skins that involve this item having, well, see-through windows. Also, there's a few other items that are see-through that are likely going to be patched, so we're going to get into why I think they're going to be patched and how that's going to work, but I want to cover all the pay-to-win skins. Make sure you don't waste your money and make sure that you get that advantage, because there's a lot of people out there with already unfair advantages. I'm talking about the cheaters. I'm talking about the people who are cheating. I'm talking about these discords where everybody goes and talks about cheats and somehow D11 can't find them, but everybody else can. And I'm not a little salty. I don't think that I think cheating's incredibly, horribly wrong. And if you're cheating, I think that you're doing something that is just, it's ridiculous. You're trying to prove that you're good at a game by cheating, which instead proves that you're just horrible at the game. And if you have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 hours in the game and you're just cheating, that is just proving that you're wasting your time to the max because you're not even learning how to play the game correctly. It's like playing basketball, but lowering the hoop down to the size where it's about as long as your dick, and then slam dunking it all the time and pretending you're Michael Jordan. It doesn't really work that way. Same here. Anyways, now that we've dunked on the cheaters, let's get into these skins, right? So Rust Console Edition has had pay-to-win skins. Pretty much every game gets pay-to-win skins now because developers have figured out that it prints money, just like the U.S. government. Anyways, though, so the pay-to-win skin now is garage doors with windows in them. Yes, the garage doors now have windows. And I close my eyes when I say this because this is more disappointing. I was on a roller coaster yesterday, and if that roller coaster didn't stop when it got like 2 inches away from the ground and just crashed into it, I would have been less disappointed than I am now. I'm teasing. I thought that was a good joke, though. I'm not suicide. We're not going to get into that topic and why, certain presidents, like for the last couple of years, 4, 5, 6 have been covering up a certain someone's what, but we're not going to talk about that because I'm sure YouTube's going to get mad at me. And actually, no, YouTube has that trending, which shout out to YouTube. We need to go after those people, but that's not what this video is about. And people are going to say, Serial, don't get political. This isn't political. This is a humanity level issue, because if you have no humanity, you're on one side, and if you're a human, you're on the other. Anyways, we're not talking about that though. So Rust Console Edition has pay-to-win skins. This garage door skin has a window in it. Garage doors typically don't have windows. If you want to use garage doors to see outside, you need this skin. We don't know when the next skin's going to be coming. Obviously, D11's not going to close this money faucet. They're going to keep it pumping, but they're probably not going to give us another garage door skin for a bit. So I would recommend buying this one. Now, some other boxes and items and lockers, they do have that see-through mesh to them, but I think that this is actually an issue. I think this is something that's going to get patched. So don't think that you're going to be able to buy a locker, buy a box, use it as protection that you can see through. It's sort of a really cool thing if you think about it, like especially the lockers. You could use those lockers on a door, on any sort of structure, right? And you can sort of jump up and see through them, and you have a bit of an advantage. You'll be able to sort of peek through, and other players won't be able to peek at you. It is an advantage for now, but likely that's going to be patched. The reason that exists is because of the way textures work. So the way textures work, and no one cares about this, I'm just going to get my geek off here, so you feel free to leave at this point. I'm just talking about geeky things. The way textures work is, right, you can make them see-through, you can make them not see-through, and generally you don't have textures overlapping, because in Rust there really aren't that many see-through textures. So whoever is doing this, they probably just put that like chainmail texture on the box and figured it was good enough. The boxes ended up being see-through. D11 probably still put it out because why not? And what's going to happen is eventually after everybody has bought it, there's a chance that they might say, hey, this doesn't make sense. Boxes and lockers have things in them. The things in them aren't see-through, so we're going to put another texture behind that. And now you've got a fence or chainmail fence sort of texture with like a black backdrop behind it. And they're going to say, well, this only makes sense. And now all of a sudden your see-through locker skin isn't going to be see-through. And if they're really sneaky, what's going to happen is right after they do this, they're going to accidentally release another skin that's see-through for the locker or something similar. And then people are going to jump to that, because this is how it works. Like, there are people who literally just buy new content. They cheat. They blatantly cheat. And when they get caught, they buy a whole new they buy Rust again and they play it again. there are games that survive off of cheaters because they keep banning the cheaters. I'm looking at you, Tarkov, but I don't think Console Rust is doing that. I think they're actually trying to, well, I want to say that they're actually trying to ban cheaters, but the fact that you can stumble into Discord servers that are for Rust Console Edition servers that literally just promote people using cheats sort of shows me that they're not banning people. No, I don't think you should be banned for that. Like, if you jump into a server and it's like a keyboard and mouse server, that's fair game, I think. If it says that in the description, like, this is only for keyboard and mouse players, that makes sense to me. That's sort of chill, actually, because you're going to a server where, like, everybody's cheating, so in reality, you're not really cheating, you're just playing with different peripherals, and I think that's okay. But the problem I have is a lot of these players go to official servers and they do the same thing, and you think that D11 would be able to put their little watchful eye of Mordor on those players, but they don't. Instead, they put out pay-to-win skins like this, and they know that cheaters are more likely to buy them because here's the reality, right? Like, here's the reality that no game company wants to admit. If someone pays extra to cheat, they're more likely to pay extra for pay-to-win skins. If you're a player like you or me or someone who doesn't cheat, you might not pay extra for things. You might be a little bit of a cheaper player because you just, either you don't have the cash or you don't see the value or whatever, right? Like, you might see a pay-to-win skin and be like, I don't care, I'm going to try and do this legit, I'm going to try and do this, I don't care about it. Whereas a lot of cheaters are just going to eat it up instantly because they say, hey, it's $2, I'm going to get to have another advantage, this is great. And that's just how it works. I'm not saying pay-to-win skins are cheating, like the devs are putting them in the game. I'm just saying I think cheaters are more likely to buy them, and I think that there is a bit of a monetary incentive not to go balls to the walls banning people. But that's just my little conspiracy theory here. And we talked about another conspiracy theory that I had earlier about someone not committing something that they, I don't know what the kids are saying. They're saying like unalived or something. You guys know what I'm referencing. You're smart cookies. And those of you who aren't are probably the ones that are cheating anyways. So no, Rust Console Edition has another pay-to-win skin. I'd recommend that you buy it because honestly a garage door that you can see through is extremely overpowered. It's really nice to have. It replaces armored doors, how people are using them. So like, it's pretty nice. And for those of you who said now people can see into your base, again, you can just place a locker, not a see-through locker. You can just place a locker or something like that to block the door when you don't want people to see in. You've got complete control over that. You just got to be a little inventive with it. But yeah, that's how it works. Also, you could just use a spray paint can to change the skin on those things. And I mean, yeah, you can use a spray paint can to change the skin on the garage door so they can be see-through when you want them to be and not see-through when you don't want them to be, which again is extremely powerful. So yeah, make sure you get that one. If you're willing to pay a couple Rust coins, this is one of those skins that you definitely want to pick up. Also, Nitrado link down in the description. If you use it, it really helps the channel out. If you're planning to buy servers, just click that link and give me some support. Nitrado has actually been really awesome, giving me 3 servers that I'm using to sort of try and help the community. I've got a build server, there's a mini server, and there's also a competitive server where the winners at the end of the wipe, it's coming up, are going to be able to get free hosting. So make sure you check all those out. The server name, just search Serials, and then you can jump into the Discord, you'll see it. But the competitive one, Serial Overdrives, competitive, and then in parentheses with prizes, make sure you check it out. Also, Nitrado is a really awesome server hosting company. They managed to spin the servers up super fast, which I really do like about them. So if you're interested, make sure you check those out. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you for watching. Until next time, peace.